Well, I got the functions back more or less. It's still not perfected, okay, but it's doing everything it's supposed to do. The chuff trigger is, I didn't put the magnet in, but there is a chuff sound. So when I put the magnet in, that'll be rectified. I'm running about 8.2 on the variable volt supply here at 50% power, which is okay. And I got about 5.3 or 5.2 volts to the smoke, which is a little low, but it's okay, mid range. I still think I can tweak that somewhat as I go along. And we're getting some smoke. I had better smoke. I don't know. We'll see where I can get it. But the puff and chuff board is working. I know the chuff works with the signal. I have to glue a magnet in. I'm wondering, though, now that I look at the puffing rate and how fast it comes up, and I had a test light. I can't do it for you because I have to hold it with two hands, but I had this LED test light, and I was testing the pulsing of the chuff and puff. I'm going to try it, and I know I can't do it. I don't know why I'm trying. I won't try. You could hold this thing up here, and you could actually see the light very faintly. You could see the light blinking as the trigger was going on. So I know that trigger's going in. So I am getting some puff and chuff, but I don't see what I wanted. I don't see what I thought I would see, a distinct puff and chuff. And I don't hear it. Ring, 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 right? It's just not what I'd hoped. I don't see it. And I'm wondering now, maybe I have the cam wiring reversed. You know, maybe I should switch the two wires. Maybe I've got the brake on the puff and the puff on the brake. You know, so I'm now puffing 3/4 and braking on 1/4. I changed the cam, but I didn't think through when I put it back in. I didn't think through which lobe is hitting when and what. So I got to go through my schematic and see if I'm actually, messed up. But that's easy because I can just switch the leads and that should transfer the long and short pulses. And they're right here, just those two leads. Oh, and the problem from last night, I can point to that very easily. And I took a picture of it, but I can't really insert a picture too well. But it's this long wire here. It's a pin, actually. And I didn't have enough room to stick the pin into the board. I just kind of laid it on top and soldered it. And I was chasing the wiring. I used my little light. I used my thing. I mean, all the stuff I could do. And I got an intermittent right in here. Intermittent. And then I started looking at it. Well, it was here, and it dies here, and it was here, and then it doesn't go into the board. What's going on? And then I held this under I have a magnifier in this light, so I can look down through it and see magnified stuff, If I lift this up, I can see everything's magnified, okay? I held the board in there, and I pinched it right here. I just pinched it, and that little wire would actually lift off the board. It was not soldered. That's what we call a cold solder joint or a broken solder joint. I could see it lift up in an air gap. So I resoldered it. Oh, I better turn my soldering iron off. This is a Weller soldering station that I inherited when I left Pfizer back in 78 or 79. It still works. It's beautiful. Okay. It's my backup to my really fancy one. But in any case, it's just soldered now, and that worked. The thing that bothers me is my speed. Not sure if I can get more speed out of this thing. And I was thinking if I increase the power coming in, measure the power, what's coming in. It's right now about 5 volts. What if I turned it up to 6 or 7? Would that give me more fan speed? And I'm not sure. I can't recall how that worked, the circuit. I have to look at the circuit. I have to try it and see what will happen. But I think I can improve the puff speed. And then I want to make sure I got the puff circuit correct, puff and brake circuit. Because you see here, there's no brake. You see no brake. And even when I slow it down, you don't see a brake. Which would tell me the brake is the smaller dwell, which is the opposite of what I was trying to do. So if I switch it, that may turn out to be better. Plus, I won't be cooling this thing down so much. You know, it's bouncing between 5.4 and 5.2, 5.3, and I'm taking the voltages off of the heater part. So that's where I'm at. I'm inputting 8.28 way over here. Now, all this wiring is going to get reduced to plugins, right? And that's going to cut the losses a lot. So I'll probably have to every time I plug things in, I'm going to have to retune it because I might have to pull these things down. I might be driving too much power because I'm losing a lot. These thin wires can get warm, actually. So that was kind of fun. Okay, so at full speed, you can see there it is. The smoke heater is jumping around 6.5 and bouncing. So it's getting hotter, and you can see that. The smoke is actually a little increased. The puffing is a little increased. So there's plenty of power. Why did that time out? Let me go to 0. One of the leads fell out. Oh, I see. Okay. Where was it? It was over here, I think. Let's see where we are. Yeah, see, it goes to 8.8 at full speed. So we're getting a lot more energy as you go full speed, and that energy is coming in at 6 volts. And I've done something over here. I think there's a loose connection or a bad wire. When I wiggle this like this, I can turn the fan off and on. These wires may not be big enough, too. That's another point. Oh, see that? See that? Isn't that crazy? Yeah, there could be a break in that wire, or that wire is just too thin. I'm going to replace it. I think I'm going to go 22 on here because I really need that power to get in. Oh, this guy, he just went to sleep. He doesn't know anything. I think. There he is. Yeah, he doesn't know anything. Auto, whatever. He's not hooked up. Anyway, now hey, look, looking better, huh? Okay, and this thing is hopping all around, but it's you can see from the smoke, it's about 6.5, which gives you a lot of smoke for the speed. And then I can turn it down to 30 miles an hour on that guy, and the temp voltage to the heater drops to 4.8. And as it cools down, it'll increase a little bit. You know, it kind of tries to stay within a range, and that range, you got white paper behind the smoke. That's not very smart, is it? So anyway, more to do, but I fixed. The mystery was solved. Crack in a joint. Had to be something like that. And I know I flopped it over. I was doing some work, and I flopped it back. So it's all possible that I pulled it a little bit. It might have been a little weak. So the two things worked against me. So now I'm going to start building the real harness with real wire. And now that I know I got the circuits right. Oh, and I got to pull that out and put the magnet in. Oh, and I got to check the circuits to see if I have the puff and brake switched. If I do, I'm going to rerun it, and I'll make a video of that. I'll do that right away because I want to know that. So that's where we're at. We're back on track, more or less, and I'm going to try to do my best to wind this thing up. A big day today, I hope. I don't know if I get the white wheel on, but if I can get everything else on, not the white wheel, I'll be okay with that. Okay, gang. Have a good one.